But real quick, Jim, before we get to what you watched, let's go to AEW news real quick. This broke. I have a press release here.
Uh-oh.
DC and All Elite Wrestling join forces for groundbreaking comic book crossover. The Justice League meets AEW in a 2-issue comic book event with an exclusive preview debuting at New York Comic Con. August 1st, 2025. DC and All Elite Wrestling are teaming up for an electrifying crossover that unites two powerhouse universes in a bold new storytelling experience. This unprecedented collaboration will bring the Justice League and AEW's top wrestling talent together in a high-octane 2-issue comic book event.
High octane.
Launching with a special preview edition available exclusively to fans at Comic-Con, DC and AEW will also co-promote DCKO, the DC Comics event launching in October from acclaimed creators Scott Snyder and Javier Fernandez across AEW linear broadcasts, digital platforms, and social media channels. The collaboration will culminate in DC Comics serving as the presenting sponsor for AEW's marquee pay-per-view event, Full Gear, live from Newark, New Jersey. There's an image here of, I see Batman, I see the Green Lantern, I see Adam Page and Kenny Omega and Moxley.
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord, it's come to this.
I'll send you this so you can see this. Before we go any further, what are your thoughts on a crossover event uniting DC and the Justice League specifically with AEW?
Well, before I heard about the Green Lantern and Batman and Kenny and Page, I think Batman's the only one that can't fly under his own power. The thought that first entered my mind was, how is DC Comics doing these days? Because I know all print publications are drastically reduced in their print run from the heyday of when people actually read things. And I know that kids can't read comics anymore because they're too expensive for them. And it's not the 12-cent days when they'd sell 4 million issues of Fantastic Four 72 or whatever. But is Marvel, I guess what I'm saying is Marvel got a deal with WWE, or why would DC Comics, one of the big two in the comic publishing industry, deal with AEW instead of WWE unless WWE was already spoken for? Otherwise, how did they land a big fish like DC Comics to get in the Justice League, Superman, Batman universe? That was my first question.
Marvel is owned by Disney. According to this about DC, part of Warner Brothers Discovery.
Oh, okay.
Creates iconic characters and enduring storylines and is one of the world's leading publishers of comics and graphic novels. So
it's no longer National Periodical Publications in an office in Midtown Manhattan with Carmine Infantino and the gang. No, it's now part of a big...
It's Zaslav.
It's Zaslav. Zaslav's over everything. So they've got the same parent conglomerate. They came from the same sperm bank. Okay, that explains that. I mean, they've done wrestling comics before. The WWF in the 90s and WCW had comic books of various kinds. In the 70s, DC did Superman versus Muhammad Ali. There was in what is that issue, 1960 or so, there was a
Rocca.
Superman versus Rocca cover, which I possess.
Rocca did better than Ali.
Well, but Superman's powers had been hampered, so he was, or something happened. I can't remember now. Point being, they've done crossovers with comics and wrestling through the decades in a variety of ways. I just to me, seeing the silliness of You could buy Hulk Hogan standing there next to fucking Captain America or whatever the fuck, but Kenny and Paige and some of these other nimrods.
Well, you can see the picture, and apparently this is the cover of the first issue. You'll see Swerve and Mercedes Moné and Wonder Woman.
Oh, she had to be there. Mercedes and Wonder Woman. Boy, howdy.
Is Darby holding his flamethrower? He's holding something, but there is no flame visible.
Wait a minute. I've got this, now that you've sent me this, I'm looking for this image. Oh, good heavens. Tony Storm looks more jacked up than Pockets, though, in this picture.
Where's Pockets? You see Pockets? Oh, there's Pocket. Oh,
he's right behind Tony Storm. He's stuck in there in between, in Batman's armpit or wing pit.
That's an interesting way of flying that Orange Cassidy has there. Do you remember the Von Erichs comic book where it was like,
yes,
the Von Erichs go to outer space?
Yes. Well, they spent a lot of time on Neptune. Yo, Moxley not only is way more jacked up than he is in real life, but it looks like his head's growing out of his left tit.
Out of all them, the only one I think could be a superhero is Darby.
Well, I think Darby's more of a sidekick. He's the sidekick that gets thrown around a lot, and then, you know, the big boy comes to the rescue. But Swerve's looking pretty badass there. I could buy Swerve maybe as a superhero in a comic book.
But I guess the question is, looking at this cover, what are your thoughts about the idea of people the likes of Mercedes Moné, Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, John Moxley, Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, Tony Storm, Willow Nightingale, Orange Cassidy, and Kenny Omega teaming up? It'd be one thing if they were fighting, but teaming up with Aquaman, Batman, Nightwing, Green Lanterns, Guy Gardner, and Jon Stewart, Hawkgirl, Zatanna, Wonder Woman.
Wait, is that Hawk to a girl?
And Harley Quinn. No, Hawk Girl, not Hawk to a girl.
Wait a minute, where's Harley Quinn in here? They need to clear that through me. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the thing, is they're marketing comics to who they perceive to be the now juvenile-minded but adults with disposable income AEW audience. So I guess I can say it, but I think Aquaman, unfortunately, as always, is fucked. He's going to have to do the job for Mercedes. Do you think Mercedes would put Wonder Woman over even with the golden lasso?
No, but who knows? Yeah. But more about this in the coming days. And of course, if you are a comic collector, get a copy for yourself. Or if you're an AEW fan, get a copy for yourself and all the people chained up in the basement.
Oh!